Describe a time when you found yourself standing up for something you believe in.
It was actually just recently. There has been a lot of office gossip around our office, and it's just been really challenging. And so, just recently, I came across a couple of the girls who were talking, and they asked my opinion on what they were talking about, and I just let them know right up front that I didn't want to be a part of it because I didn't want to be a part of the office gossip.
And how did this impact your relationship with others?
Right then and there, it actually was very good because they thanked me for it, and they actually came to kind of a realization themselves that they didn't want to be a part of it as well.
And what was the outcome of this act?
The outcome was good. No, nothing got talked about, at least in front of me, and definitely they know where I stand with office gossip. That I don't want to be a part of it.
Describe a situation when you identified an opportunity to improve a process and took action.
A year ago, I actually started at this clinic in the orthopedic office. I was hired as a medical assistant, but they actually want me to help them with the specialty injection. It was a really big mess. There was a lot of the orders that weren't done. Nothing was really charted correctly. Benefits were incorrect. So I kind of helped implement a new plan that kind of got that running for a little bit of a smoother process.
How did you decide which process needed improvement or simplification?
Basically by looking at the chaos and there were just orders there that hadn't even been processed. One I found that was almost 60 days old, that wasn't even done. So I just kind of did it by trial and error until I kind of got a system going down, which actually has benefited really well.
How were others involved in this experience? Like, what support and or barriers did you overcome?
I definitely had the support of my management staff. They did help me. They understood the trials that I had at first. There was also a girl there, Carrie, who kind of helped do it. The gal, I guess, that was working there previously, she got let go because of the lack of completing what she was supposed to be doing. So Carrie was kind of helping out a little bit as she could. And so she kind of just instructed me, gave me the knowledge, the basics of what I needed to know.
What barriers did you face and how did you overcome it or them?
Definitely a lot of barriers with the doctors, trying to understand the process of it as well as the patients, understanding that the process, how long it takes to get the authorization, the approval, the benefits, and then the scheduling with the providers. So I would say that the way I overcame it is just by communication, talking with the doctors, explaining with the patients the process, always keeping them up to date with anything that I heard back from the insurance company, but just good communication actually.
Describe a situation when you went above and beyond with the customer.
I actually do it a lot because it really gratifies me. So, not trying to pat myself on the own back, but another situation just recently, I had a patient who was approved by injections and actually Blue Cross Blue Shield. After it didn't require authorization, but after the injection was already given, they thought that it wasn't actually medically necessary, and so I have gone through the strings of trying to contact past providers that she's visited, and I've just kind of gone out the extra mile a little bit, try and help her, try so that she's not out of pocket for this injection because it's $1,600.
What reaction did you get from the customer that left an impression on you?
She actually just loves the work that I've helped her with. It's not resolved yet; it's still in the process, but I have able to solve some of the questions that weren't resolved. But she just thinks I'm the nicest person ever, and she just loves how much I talk with her and keep her updated.
How did you know what you needed to do?
With what?
Um,
Oh, I'm sorry. What I needed to do with like this situation.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I would say what I need. How did I know I needed to do? Is because she was upset. She wasn't taken care of as far as on her insurance, so she called me upset. So anytime's upset, I always try and solve the issue. So that's how I needed to do.
What did you do the next time you were faced with this issue?
The next time I was faced with that issue, I definitely would not take as long to try and solve the issue. I feel like I personally maybe could have expedited it a little faster. So I would say next time, also with Blue Cross Blue Shield, I will definitely make sure that I go over every single criteria that they need for the approval of the injection.
Describe a time when you needed to empower and engage others, for example, like team members, colleagues, etc., and to make a positive difference in the workplace.
I'm actually a part of what's called the PX Champion team, and it's a team that's put together to motivate the employees and my colleagues to motivate them to want to be participated in groups when it comes to certain things in our office. I'm sorry. It actually is the PX Champion team. Also, we always try to interact with the patients and make sure that they're involved. So anything that we do, we always try to include the patients and make it a very good experience for them.
What was the most important skill that you used during this time?
During this time, I would say communication. I have several of them. Communication is definitely a good skill. Definitely another skill would be is positivity, because a lot of times, people get in a slum when they work in the same place for a long time. So people just need encouragement, kind of to get them feeling a little bit better and get them more motivated, more involved.
How did your treatment of them impact the experience?
The BIX Champion the team is great. It helps us get information and gather information for things like this month, the breast cancer awareness, and then we're able to put an informational board out there for the patients, and that way too they can see the in the year 2018 so far what the results are for breast cancer awareness.
And finally, what contributed most to your ability to empower others in that situation?
Definitely because I'm an outgoing person. I'm very motivated. I'm an organized person. My main key actually is communication. I'm huge on that. So I think those are definitely skills or abilities that I have that help us out with this particular situation.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.